Manchester City's Jack Grealish is a player that has immense ability, leading to Manchester City signing him in the summer of 2021 for around £100 million. He predominantly plays as an attacking midfielder on the left side of the front three, behind Erling Haaland, and is a very comfortable player, receiving the ball in a different variety of positions. And from the top 5 leagues in Europe, Jack Grealish is in the top 1% for his short pass completion. So we know that he's a player who's comfortable receiving the ball and moving it on, which is great for a City side that play their football mainly in the attacking half of the pitch. And in these positions, Grealish is extremely capable at interchanging and playing more centrally. But it did take Grealish a while to adjust to City's plans, and he's now a key part of Pep Guardiola's outline for the City team, and he's scored 6 goals and 5 assists so far this season. So what is it that we can learn from Jack Grealish? What makes him so good? Well, one of the key things is Grealish's dribbling ability. Grealish loves to take players on, whether that be from deeper positions or inside the final third, further forwards closer to the goal. And what he wants to do is to drive at defences, and he does this with close control and quick feet. But one thing about Grealish is that he doesn't actually have the electric pace that you might see from other players who play in similar positions, such as Saka, Rashford, and then even Mbappe. This electric pace allows them to get away from players, but Grealish doesn't have that. But even though he doesn't have that, he's in the top 2% of players in the big 5 leagues for carries in the game. And he's the top 1% for carries into the penalty area. So he's confident getting the ball and driving into that final third, and especially the penalty area. Even though he doesn't have the same pace as those electric wingers, he needs to look at keeping the ball more effectively. And one of the key things for him is how he does that when he keeps the ball closer to his feet when dribbling. And one big thing Grealish does to prevent players from getting that ball off him is making sure that when he's dribbling, he tries to keep the ball on the safe side more often. The safe side is the side of the body furthest away from the defender, with his body in between him and the ball. By keeping the ball further away from the defender will need to stretch across Grealish's body to try and win it. And doing this is a tricky thing for any defensive player. They've got to stretch across the body to try and win the ball, and because of that, there's more chance that they're going to foul the attacking player. And this is something that Grealish is very, very good at. He wins many fouls, giving him and his team, with all that quality talent, chance to deliver dangerous balls into the box. And he actually draws about 3.19 fouls per game. This is in the top 5% of players. And for any team, this is incredibly useful. These fouls can lead to shot-creating actions, and Grealish is in the top 5% for those plays. His close control is up there with some of the best in the league, and it's very, very difficult for teams to mark him. This is so important to Pep Guardiola. In the final third of the pitch, Grealish can dribble and maintain possession. He invites pressure too, which is something that Pep absolutely loves. Grealish will receive the ball in these advanced areas, and because he's so comfortable, he'll get pressure put on him straight away. But this leaves space for other players on the team to burst forward. If Grealish gets the ball in that wide area, the defence shift across. They look to get narrower and protect that gap that the other players can run into. So Grealish, drawing the pressure, can then actually create space for his teammates by playing out of these tight areas. And he's in one of the top 1% for short pass completion, as we mentioned earlier. And this ability to draw pressure and then pass through it or away from it, breaking the lines of their defence, is vital to Man City. And this gives City the chance to then switch the play into areas of the pitch where there's less defensive pressure. And when this happens, Grealish is prepared to take advantage of these situations. As the ball moves to the opposite flank, Grealish realises that the defensive attentions have switched to the player on the ball. So in this situation here, Mahrez has the ball going at the fullback in a 1v1 situation. Grealish realises that the defenders are going to be starting to looking at the ball, and he starts to make a move. And that move is making a run to the back post, where he's now a goal-scoring threat. As the ball gets delivered into the box, he's made that run to the back post, and he's there to potentially go and finish, which adds a lot more goals to his game. So he's not just good on the ball, he's now developing end product. As we saw earlier this month, in Man City's win against Southampton. Guardiola loves this. He loves that Grealish enjoys inviting pressure and maintaining possession, but he's also aware that Grealish now has an end product. One of the key areas to Grealish's game is that he keeps the ball close to his feet, and he aims to put his body in between the defender and the ball, so he can maintain this possession in these difficult areas of the pitch. And this is where he can create and then have end product, which is hugely important to Manchester City as they chase down the treble.